I just finished this build a couple days ago, and I thought it was interesting, so I made this video about it. It's the case itself was bought off of eBay. It's made out of it's all aluminum. There's no steel. There's only a couple steel pieces in it that are used to hold the motherboard, but other than that, it's all aluminum. It's empty inside. It's just four walls, and it's designed to hold at maximum a mATX motherboard. The dimensions of the case are it's approximately 10 inches tall, 7 inches wide, and 11 inches deep. It would not fit a full-size graphics card, so I had to actually cut a hole in the front of the case, which some people might like the way it looks, some people might not, but it does fit the full-length graphics card. It doesn't change the footprint that much, and it stays very cool. So it is what it is, but I think it looks half decent. I'm gonna go into some other parts of the build here. This is what the case looks like when it's unboxed. It's completely shipped flat, which is good for shipping. It has rails that are made out of steel that are used to hold a motherboard, and there's an additional 2 rails that aren't pictured here that hold a top exhaust 120 millimeter fan. That's the only cooling that has built into it, is a spot for 120 millimeter fan. So you have to be a little bit creative here in order to get some decent airflow through this case. The first thing I did was take the bottom plate pictured here in the middle. It's got some holes in it for airflow, but at the same time, it's the only spot where you can mount your hard drive. So if you mount your hard drives, it basically covers all the airflow intake holes. With the hard drives mounted at the bottom of the case, there was really no place to mount a fan that wasn't in a bad location or required a tiny fan. So I ended up tapping my own holes into the aluminum and putting this Noctua 140 millimeter fairly high CFM fan and raising it above the SSDs. And so the idea here is that it's pulling in quite a bit of air around the hard drives, and not just below the fan, but also pretty much from a decent area around the bottom of the case. Here's what the case looks like assembled and without the video card installed. As you can see, the fans, the air channel from the top to the bottom is not that great, but it definitely gets the job done. Cable management was definitely tight, and I tried to pull everything away from the fan so that I could at least get some sort of open channel from the top to the bottom, and without any obstructions such as the power supply or the video card. I used an Asus Direct CUII OC. It's an R9 290. I really like this card. I've used it for 6 or 7 different builds. I've tried several other brand MSI 4G Gaming, Sapphire Tri-X, and they're all great. I just get consistently good overclocks, good temperatures, and good sound performance out of this card, and so I've continued to use it for all of my AMD builds. I went with an EVGA 500 watt power supply because it was the only it was the smallest power supply I had on hand. I don't normally go that low. I normally try to stay at 750 or above, but doing some testing, 500 was more than enough for this build. So and it was the right size for the case, and so I did a lot of stress testing, and the 500 watts was fine. The last part here is a video showing how much power the machine's pulling from the wall. It never pulled more than 440 watts from the wall. The PSU is 80% certified, so there's quite a bit of room there, and this is with an overclock too, so this is sort of a worst case scenario, and I was happy with the numbers. So this is it. I'm fairly happy with the way the build turned out. You can see the handles on the top are not attached. I haven't decided yet whether or not I was going to attach the handles. But considering the case is so light and small, it would make a good portable machine. But if you have any questions, either leave it in the Reddit post or the comments.